Hello, everyone. This is Ana Pacheco with SantaFe101.com. My guest today is Ernie C'deBaca. He is the director of the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber. Ernie, do I have your permission to record this interview?
Absolutely.
Well, good. Well, Ernie, again, thank you so much. As I mentioned when I first rang you up, the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber was a huge supporter of mine in my early days as a publisher of La Herencia magazine, which was a history, art, and culture magazine for Hispanic New Mexico. And I published that from 1994 to 2009. So I know a lot of the earlier members of the chamber, but I want to know a lot about what you're up to now, how long you've been with the chamber, and what the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber is doing for Albuquerque, Bernalillo, Sandoval County. So
Yeah.
take it away,
Thanks.
Ernie.
Thanks. It's great to see you, and I know we bumped into each other sometimes, probably several times, either at the Roundhouse. I mentioned that I'm from Los Alamos, graduated in '72, but just a little bit about myself. I started working at PNM back in 1978 and retired 2014. So I had about 36 years there. But when I retired, they gave me a little gift and said, choose whatever 501c3 you would like to work at, and we'll pay your salary, bonuses, and all that stuff for 18 months. I was a vice president. I was an executive there at the PNM. And so I'd been a longtime board member of the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber. In fact, I was chair in 2006. And so here we are in 2014, and I started working in June of 2014 for free for Alex Romero, and he loves that kind of stuff. He loves workers for free. So I worked here for 18 months, and then they decided to keep me, and I was in charge. I was the vice president of our convention and tourism department. And then in June of 2017, I became the president and CEO when Alex retired. So, I got to just say this, we're different than most chambers. Most chambers don't have 22,000 square foot facility. We have two big buildings, very nice conference rooms. Um, our mission is to promote economic development and enhance economic opportunities, and then workforce and business opportunities for people in Albuquerque and New Mexico, with an emphasis, of course, on the Hispanic community. But we're inclusive. So our about 1,000 members. It's starting to shrink a little bit because of COVID, but about 1,000 members or so. We're 60% Hispanic and 40% non-Hispanic as far as our membership. Very inclusive. Um, and so, the Hispano Chamber, we are calling ourselves more and more the Hispano Chamber because our reach is much more than Albuquerque. Our reach is throughout the entire state of New Mexico and in Mexico. Actually, we have members in the West Coast, the East Coast, other states. So you like Square is a member, and they're in the West Coast, and so we have other members, like I said, in Virginia and Florida. So so we call ourselves the Hispano Chamber. We actually was formed in 1975, Anna, and that was a year before the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was formed, and the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was formed in New Mexico. They were incorporated in New Mexico 1 year after we were incorporated here. So, we have a long history. We're different than like the Albuquerque Chamber, the Greater Albuquerque Chamber. We're complementary. We're not competitive, really, because our missions are different. Our missions are our mission is really to help scale and grow small businesses, but also to help provide value to larger businesses because it's all about economic development. It's all about trying to help the smaller businesses grow and prosper, which is also very important for the larger businesses to use these small businesses and the activities they do. So, we have large businesses like PNM and Sandia and Intel, Gas Company, General Mills. We have large companies that are our members. So, that's in a nutshell kind of who we are. We, where I say we're different is we have a convention and tourism department. I think we're the only Hispanic chamber in the entire country that has a convention and tourism department. We have a small contract with the city, and the reason I say small is Visit Albuquerque has a much larger contract. We get about 12% of the budget, and they get about 88% of the budget. So our markets are the Hispanic and Native American markets. So we try to bring in conferences like the Hispanic National Bar Association, LULAC, the National Association of Bilingual Educators. We try to bring heads and beds to Albuquerque. And so lodgers tax, we get some money from lodgers tax to do that work. And we've had that contract for, I think over 40 years, to tell you the truth. It renews every 5 years or so. We have to get with the city at the time, the administration, and prove our worth. And we do that every year. We have a monthly meeting with lodgers tax. But so we have that. We have a large campus that has Bareilles Economic Opportunity Center, which we have computer labs. We have housed the Minority Business Development Agency is on our campus. PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, is on our campus. The Small Business Development Center is on our campus. We have a PPE from the city of Albuquerque and the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We have a grant with them, AHCC, for minority business development, handing out PPE to businesses that need it during this time frame. So it's a little bit of mixture. We have a membership department, we have a convention and tourism department, and we have kind of a department that does programs and services for our small businesses. So it's a lot, and we have
Yeah.
over 20 employees, and we're growing actually during this COVID time. We're actually adding employees, and I'll tell you mostly why that is occurring is, well, I mentioned we're the Hispano Chamber. We're bigger than Albuquerque. We're awarded the contract with Be Well NM, the health insurance exchange for the entire state of New Mexico. So we're doing the education and outreach for that effort, together with some vendors that we've hired to do other parts of it, like public relations and advertising and marketing and research and polling, the website. All that falls under the responsibility of us being the prime vendor or the prime contractor for this. So, we got a lot of stuff going right now. But because of that, we've hired, about 7 employees. We might be adding up to 9 or 10 employees before the next week or two is over. So, and just as an aside, if I may, because of that contract, something unusual is happening. For the first time ever, a special enrollment period is occurring starting next Monday, February 15th, for 90 days. The Biden administration decided that during this pandemic, they wanted to make sure that as many people as possible would be enrolled into health insurance. And so we are, starting Monday, there's a special enrollment period, which is great because a lot of people that might not have enrolled in the enrollment period in November, December, they have the special opportunity to do it now. Because we all know it's important to be insured, especially at a time like that, like what we're going through right now. The Be Well NM likes to use the saying that because you just never know. And that's true, especially during this time. So we have a large contract with them to fulfill, try to get as many people in New Mexico, eligible people, enrolled in the New Mexico Health Insurance Exchange. And so that's a big initiative we have, and we've added some personnel because of that.
Oh, good. Well, I just be going back to what you said earlier. You have a lot going on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fascinating. I mean, how much is going on at your chamber? But what I liked what you said was that your membership now is about 60% Hispanic, 60-40, and that basically mirrors the state of New Mexico. We're about 60% Hispanic, and for people that may be watching this, New Mexico is the minority majority state, which means that on a per capita basis, we have more Hispanics in the state than any other state in the country. And of course, Los Angeles has more Hispanics in the whole state, but on a per capita basis. So we are the minority majority state. And I wanted to ask you, so let's talk a little bit again because if people are watching this, they're thinking of maybe moving to New Mexico, and then Albuquerque is our biggest city. They might, they might want to know, they might be interested in working with your chamber in terms of what they're doing in terms of business. But let's talk about just historic Barela. I know you're located in the Barelas neighborhood. Let's just give us a little bit of history about Barelas.
Well, it's along the original Camino Real, and it's really, I got to tell you what's amazing about this question, Anna, is we're located here for a very specific reason. When the board of directors back in the late 90s, back when you were involved and you knew Loretta Armenta and some of the people involved, Alex Romero and some of the folks, they decided that they wanted to build a building. Most chambers don't own their own building. They usually rent or lease a building, and sometimes they're fortunate that somebody will just allow them to be in their building or something. But they decided they wanted to build their own building, those folks at that time, and they wanted to put it in the biggest pocket of poverty in Albuquerque, which was Barelas. And it's been a great opportunity here to be in this community because, they have a great neighborhood association. They're very active. They're great people,
And
and so
your neighbors with the National Hispanic Chamber, which I was on their board for many years. And so
and
it was kind of like part of an urban renewal type of thing to kind of get the whole Barelas
right,
area up and running. And
exactly.
the other interesting thing about Barelas is that there's a lot of mom and pop businesses, a lot of small
Oh
businesses
yeah.
in that area. So for
Oh, it's
anybody who's watching this right now, what can you offer? What is your program? I mean, I know you mentioned a lot of things that you're up to and you're working on now, but what could your chamber offer a small business? If somebody's watching this interview, they're thinking about moving to New Mexico and they're thinking about Albuquerque, what could they do if they contacted you and they have a small business?
Well, first of all, one of the greatest things we do is connect them with other small businesses that can help each other grow. We have programs that help. It's called one of them's called Avanzad, where it's a 8-month program to help scale your business. But more importantly, it's that opportunity to be part of our network. We have an amazing platform called Chamber Nation that provides a landing page for these small businesses so that they can be broadcast to all of our large membership base. We do every day, there's something going on that talks about small businesses. We have a lot of webinars right now. So if this was not the pandemic time, our campus would be bustling with people because people come in and use our conference rooms. They do meetings. We have classes available for them, and there's a lot of networking connections. So it's just being part of this group that helps their business grow because of the opportunities they have getting to know other businesses, and also the programs that we offer, some of the like Avanzad that we have. We have
What about, let me just ask you, what about like lending resources? Can you help like a small business that wants to move to New Mexico? Could you lead them in the right direction in terms
oh
of
yeah,
get loans and that type of thing?
some of our partners are CDFIs, and they will help small
What
businesses.
does CDFI mean?
Oh, I knew you were going to financial institute. Oh, I don't know what the CD stands for right now.
How about
Um,
community? Maybe community.
Community
Let's use
Development
community.
Financial Institution. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Okay. So there's 6 or 7 of them that are our members that we would like right now to try to get PPP loans or whatever, as part of the stimulus package. We would direct them to them and help them. We also have a large board. We have a 37 member board that is from small businesses to large business, to Bank of America, to PNM, to Intel, to the smallest businesses, Valley Fence. We have Baca, Bueno Foods. I mean, so there's a lot of opportunities to work and collaborate together. We have committees that they can join that they can network together to enhance their business and learn. We have a small business committee, we have a health and wellness committee, we have a veterans committee, we have an international trade committee. We do stuff with international trade. So there's various ways that they can help themselves. So we're really a resource, Anna. We don't do their marketing per se. We don't do, they come to us to use us and the resources we have through committees and other maybe networking opportunities and programs and classes that we offer to help them. Okay.
And what about the Native American community? What are you doing for the Native American community?
That's a really good question because, we do have efforts in the Native American community. We actually have, let me see, one, two, three, four, about four different people that are our employees that are Native Americans here at our chamber, which is a pretty good amount. We have a procurement. Right now, we're offering a procurement series for people to understand procurement. And a lot of that is influential to Native American businesses because they don't understand procurement just like anybody else doesn't understand procurement.
What does that mean? I don't understand. Tell me what.
So, exactly. Procurement series is a series that we have that's over, I think, 6 weeks. We're into our third week already. I think we have 3 more classes. And we have various, it's on every Thursday, like today, from 3 to 5. And we have various speakers that are in the procurement world, like government procurement from Kirtland Air Force Base.
Well, procurement means buying?
Yeah, so supplying these.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it means, yeah, you have a business to bid on or to team up with other people to promote, send your proposals in to these various procurement agencies. City of Albuquerque, State of New Mexico, University of New Mexico, PNM. There's all these different rules and regulations that these these different organizations have that are scary if you don't know them. I mean, you go like, I'd love to do business with Sandia National Labs, but I just don't know how to do it. Well, we have classes. This series is going to teach you how to do that. And then we have a procurement summit at the end of this that will be very valuable. I can't give you the figure of this, Anna, but as you can imagine, with all the bases that we have in New Mexico and all the state and federal agencies we have here, how much money in procurement that goes out of state because people in New Mexico are not as informed about how to do business with these agencies. There are actual conferences that are held in Albuquerque that bring in people from out of state to learn how to do business in New Mexico. And so there is a lot of money that gets sent out of state because we haven't built up a good enough procurement base, so to speak, or a supplier base. But we have some people that are very knowledgeable in this and very successful and have done very well in doing this, and it's amazing. I'll just tell you this. I'm not going to tell you the name of the person or the company, but 2 years ago we had a meeting here at the chamber, and it was on procurement. And we had a specialist at the time. We had a guy who was volunteering his time, who used to be the head of procurement for the NNSA out there at Kirtland. And so he knew all the procurement stuff. He knew all of that. So we had this meeting. There was probably 20, 25 people in our conference room over here. This one gentleman walked in. He had never done anything with procurement. Never even, he just was curious about it. But through that initial meeting, within the last 6 months, he has received a contract at the base for $11 million. And he's teamed up with some other businesses on a much larger, hundreds of $1 million contract opportunity. People don't know that's available, and they get scared because there's forms you got to fill out, there's reports you got to do, there's things like that people just need to understand. But if you take the time and you have an idea, maybe you're just a janitorial supply company, I don't know what, let's just say that, but you want to do business, they can understand how to do procurement here. We have the Minority Business Development Agency here that can help them. We have the Small Business Development Center that can help them start their own business plan. And then we have the Procurement Technical Assistance Center here that can help them with procurement. I mean, we are a one-stop shop here at the Hispano Chamber. In fact, it's funny, we're thinking about naming our West building. I called it the Barelas Economic Opportunity Center. It's always going to be called that, but I think it might be called the New Mexico Small Business Center at the Barelas Economic Opportunity
I
Center,
think,
because
Ernie,
we have that there.
I think you should call it The Buck Stops Here. Listen, we're out of time. I thank you for your interview. So basically what I'm getting from today is that the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber, you say, it's a one-stop shop, but basically you can really help navigate a
Yes.
small business, and especially small business grow, but especially people that may be moving here. I want to thank you, Ernie C'deBaca from the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber. Do you have any parting words of wisdom?
I just want to say that, Albuquerque is a beautiful place and New Mexico is a beautiful place. And if people come here, they're going to want to stay here. And we want to help them in when they stay here and what they want to do. So we're available for anybody. You can get on our website. You wouldn't believe our robust website and all the different webinars that can help identify everything I've said. It's ahcnm.org. And we're not open to the public yet, but we are available on Zoom and other ways to meet. But we want to help.
Well, excellent. Thanks again, Ernie. And all of your URL and all the contact information will accompany this interview on my website, SantaFe101.com.
Awesome.
Listen, thanks again, Ernie.
Thank you. Bye, Anna.